Okay. So we can also, tuck this into his undies. Okay, so where I like to start here, and this looks like a pretty good oil. It's a base water dispersible oil. It's a pretty neutral oil, useful for almost anything. So I just start off by just gently warming his back up, just getting a feel of where is he tight.
You start straight away with the thumb, right? You just.
No, I start off really gently. Later on I'll get into it.
It's pretty fun.
Was that for me?
What's that?
Was that for me? Same as starting off with this.
He started. Yeah. Look, if it's too much, I'll do him a little finger. How's that? Better? Okay, so what we're feeling for, first of all, is we're feeling for these muscles beside the spine to see how tight they are. Does everybody want to come and have a feel of this? See how it's sliding over that? That one's nice and tight. Then we've got this, a little bit tight. But this side's tighter than the other side. It is. Yeah. We don't want to go too hard to start with.
It's already written up.
Yeah. Okay, what we're looking for is we're looking for the tension that comes up here, and then there's another thing that we're looking for, which is tension that comes diagonally this way. See how, can you see that? Sort of diagonal, right in there. That's tension that comes from his hands, specifically from the little finger, and then comes up like this, and into here. And then this tension comes all the way from his big toe, and comes up through his sacral area, up into here, up into his neck, and into his head. So we're feeling for these two bands. Okay, so first of all I can feel, and we're also, what we're sensing first of all is how tight is he on one side compared to the other? How tight is he on these bands compared to these diagonal bands? This will give us some idea of where his problems are. Okay? So, does anybody who's felt him feel one side tighter than the other? The right. You can see it right away, right? His right side is way tighter than his left.
You can see it without touching him.
Yeah, you can see it without touching him. Okay, good. You guys are doing good. All right, so all I'm really doing here is just doing this sort of gentle caressing moves, just to warm him up a little bit and get him used to the massage. Nothing too intense right now. It's more just like, hi, how you going? And I'm getting an idea of where is he tight. Okay, so when I feel this tension, then what I want to think about is, okay, where am I going to start the massage? Because this is a nice traditional place to start a massage, on the back. But in reality, you could waste a hell of a lot of time just massaging people's backs, because this tension has its roots somewhere else. One good thing to remember, and this is getting a little bit more advanced, is that when somebody's got tension all the way through here like this, oftentimes, yes, it could be coming from their feet, and often it is, but it can also be coming from their front. All right, and oftentimes, but when you, specifically when you see it like here, and then it's loose down here, and then it gets really tight and then loosens up in here, that's really almost always from the front. Okay? So one thing what we need to figure out is where is the most effective place to start a massage. All right, so because we could just work this and work this and work this, and what we'll find is, I call it getting rid of the tension that comes away nice and easily. There will be some tension, he will loosen up a bit, and then you'll hit a point where nothing loosens. It just stays exactly the same. If you keep working him, you're just going to eventually make him a bit sore, and you're not going to get any looseness out. So what we're really trying to do, just to initially open up, is we're getting him used to our touch in a nice safe place, because this is a lot less vulnerable than the belly and different areas of the body. So he's sort of getting used to it without it being too confronting. And we're also diagnosing. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, his right side is way tighter than his left, which means that I'm suspicious of what's happening on this foot. Is there a lot of tension coming up here, making this leg tight? I can feel a lot like through here. Already it's a bit tight in there. I can feel a lot of tension in his sacral area here. Okay, so there's some suspicion that this foot is going to be tight. There's also quite a strong band of tension coming diagonally through here. So I'm also suspicious of what's happening in his hand, specifically through here, in this little finger side, okay? But I'm also wondering if, because it does build up right in here, and then drops off up here, and drops off a bit down here, although it's still tight, I'm suspecting he's got a lot of tension on the front of his body. Okay, so that's what I would call my diagnosis, okay? And that's what takes time and experience to really understand, okay? And that means that the massage cuts out. So if I'm sitting there and thinking I've got an hour and a half with him, what I want to do is spend probably a lot of the time on the front of his body, but also quite a lot on this foot, this leg, this arm, and then probably just polish up this side a little bit. Because I'm not going to get all this tension out of one treatment, but I want to make an impact. I want him to feel a lot better. I want him to go away feeling, wow, that was great. I feel a lot looser. Okay, so what I'm doing now is instead of hovering around up there, I want to see what's going on this leg here. So I suspect quite a lot of tension. What I'm going to do is just warm these muscles up. Have a feel of the calf muscle here. You can see, so good to feel how, one of the things that you need to learn as a massage therapist is what is tightness and how does it feel getting from tight to loose. It's not something I can just tell you, you need to learn to feel it. Feel the difference between one and the other. If you want, yeah. So get a feel of the thigh here compared to there. You'll see, that one's a little bit, this one's tighter. Sorry. Wrong this thing. That's me. I was looking wrong. Keeps doing that. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to warm this leg up. Do you do this leg?
So weird.
Just like here, nothing too big. Nah, don't worry about it.
You would have remembered it.
It might be and here. You feel a bit of a difference there between the legs?
Do you try the auto? When have you got the automatic now?
Could do.
Sorry?
So we just start off by just gently warming up, getting the blood flow moving. This is almost like just a deep Swedish kind of massage where it's just getting a bit of blood flow moving. How's the pressure for you?
Fine. Great.
Great. So not too hard to start with. This is more just about getting a bit of blood flow moving, warming him up.
It's a bit difficult behind the knee.
We don't really work behind the knee, to tell you the truth. If you do in shiatsu, we do some moves where we hold here like this, but we don't massage over. If anything, we just glide over it. We get hard up through from here up, and from here up to here. But actually, you do a lot harder between here and here. Here, you actually go quite gentle until you've done the foot. But basically, avoid the back. You just go over it. You don't put any pressure there.
Why is that?
It's just there's a lot of nerves and blood vessels and things like that through there. So this is more just about getting some blood flow. It's not a complicated move. Okay, it's just about getting a bit of blood flow happening in there. Same here, I'm not really getting too specific. I just want to get any tension that comes away nice and easy. The real work is going to start as we get into his feet. Okay, and this is the more complicated stuff. Can everybody see how I'm flicking over a little band in there? That band continues up through here, and you'll feel it in the ball of the calf muscle here. It continues up through here, and then that comes up all the way up into his sacrum and becomes this band of tightness here. So I'm going to be focusing a little bit on that. It comes across here and comes into the edge of his foot here. Some people find this a bit uncomfortable. Right in there. He's good with his breathing already. So we're just lightly caressing over it, just flicking over it. And then it comes up into here and becomes like a thin wire through here as well. Sometimes you have to really search for this one. But you can also just work through there. And then it comes up into the side of the toe here.
Is that liver?
Bladder, yeah. A lot of these bands do follow meridians, but some of them are a little bit different. So I call them bands rather than meridians, because for example, the gallbladder meridian, it does some little zigzag over through here. We don't follow that zigzag, we just follow like the band of tension. So when it comes to the foot, he's got sort of tension both, like he's got tension through here in his hips. That tension actually comes along the edge here. You can see it through here, and it comes in through here. Feel that? Does anybody want to have a quick feel right there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that comes along and you'll see it sometimes in people. With him you can't see it so clearly. It comes along through here and around the edge of the toe and it comes into here. And that comes up through here as well. And that gets then right into here, which is where people get a lot of sciatic pain and tension in their hip. You can feel it, because he's thin, you can actually feel it on him right here as well. If anybody wants to have a feel of that.
With the tension.
Yeah, right here. Yeah. So it's just it just goes straight up through here. It actually curves around. On some people, you'll see the band actually curl around the ankle, and then it becomes you can start to feel it through here pretty clearly. Okay, so that has its origins in the little toe, and a very important point along that band is right in between this point between the little toe and the second toe. So we can just gently apply pressure through there. We pay attention to his breath, if he's able to breathe into it. If he's tightening up against us, it means we're going too hard and we have to ease off. We can also click all these toes. That's done by getting the base behind this knuckle with your thumb and pushing out while supporting the bottom of the toe, so below that joint. I'll show you more about this move as we go along.
Can I just ask, what about when, like I know I've got one of my toes has been broken, so.
Probably won't click.
Yeah. Right.
Some people's toes just won't click. You don't force the toe to click.
Yeah.
They should go, if they don't go nice and easy, they're too tight, or they're already loose.
Yeah.
You'll feel the difference. Never force them, you'll break them if you're not careful. So this is where we're going to do a lot of work here, is on the foot. Okay? He's got a lot of tension in his feet. It all comes up from here. Here you can see a bit more what I was talking about. See on that angle, you can just start to see that band coming there, through here. See just the faint outline of that band, right? That's the one that then comes up into here. And you can feel that, can't you? That point? Yeah. Just, yeah. If he wants it harder, you could use your knuckles like that as well. But with him, he likes quite gentle pressure, so I'm just using my fingers. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to work this band, we're going to work here. There's another band that comes across the front, which we're going to pay a lot of attention to when we work on the front. And that comes from these two toes, comes through this point here, and comes up right beside this shin bone. Harder to see right now, but you can feel that, can't you, through there. You'll see it more also up through here. Anyway, I'm going to work that point a bit here. This is a very important pressure point, right between these two toes here. Sometimes I just hold it gently and just shake it a little bit. Second and third. We can also slide in between the toes, so just squeezing. We can do it with all of it. And then in here. We can also work the detail of the toes. So while I'm here, I'm not just going to work one band, I'm going to work the entire foot. So I'm going to squeeze the tip of the toes like this. I'm going to move this joint side to side. And work in like this across. Big toes are incredibly important. Okay, sometimes people have that much tension in their big toe, you could spend hours on it. Okay, so we're, again, I'm just warming him up a little bit just to see what's happening for him. I can get in and work the ball of the foot a little bit like this as well, but paying a particular attention to this band coming up through here. Can you feel that little band in there? Yeah. It actually comes all the way up to the side of the nail here. Some people you'll actually feel it. A lot of people, their skin is too thick through here, you won't feel that, but still work it, okay? Sometimes you can actually use, I had John, another guy who was working on my toe, he was using the edge of a crystal because he couldn't feel things with his fingers, but the side of a crystal to get right into the fine detail here, he could feel all the little, it was quite an interesting. Yeah, I'll show you how it's done.
Cut them open.
So you could use, instead of the, I mean you can use the point, which is quite strong. It's like an acupuncture needle coming in there. But you can actually use the edge of it. And it's amazing what can be going on the side of that big toe there. And that